Who is Bryan Kohberger and what do we know about him? Bryan Kohberger was born on November 21, 1994. He is currently 28 years old and is charged in the murders of Kaylee, Madison, Ethan, and Xana of Moscow, Idaho. Bryan went to Pleasant Valley High School. One of his old friends from high school gave an interview and stated the two had been friends during their teenage years. They spent half their days at the high school and the other half taking heating and air conditioning work classes at Monroe County's vocational school. He described Bryan as down-to-earth when they wrapped up their junior year, but when they started senior year, he described Bryan as aggressive. Bryan started to take boxing lessons and his former friend said he always wanted a fight and would bully people at school. He stated that his friend group started to distance themselves from him. After graduating from high school, Bryan went on to earn a psychology degree from Northampton Community College in 2018. He continued to work in the Pleasant Valley School District for several years as a school security officer up until last year. He then received a Master of Arts in Criminal Justice from DeSales University in 2022. While a student at the school, Bryan posted a Reddit post for former prisoners to take part in. He was doing research about how emotions and psychological traits influence decision-making when committing a crime. During this time as well, Bryan had been pursuing a doctorate in criminal justice at Washington State University in Pullman, less than 10 miles from Moscow. While he's attending school at Washington State living 14 minutes away from Kings Road, on November 13, Bryan allegedly murdered 4 out of the 6 college students in the house: Kaylee, Madison, Xana, and Ethan. On November 13, around the time the murders occurred, a white Nissan Elantra was caught speeding on a local gas station security camera. Moscow Police Department asked the public for help with locating the Nissan, as the occupants of the car may be involved in the murders or saw something. Tips began to flood in, but no updates were given on the whereabouts of the car. As we now know today, on December 15, 2022, Bryan was driving to his mother and father's house in Pennsylvania where he was pulled over twice. His father was in the car with him for the road trip back. The reason is unknown at this time. Fast forwarding to the end of December, the FBI had been tracking and surveilling Kohberger for 4 days, and on Friday, December 30, 2022 at around 1:30 in the morning, over 50 FBI, police, ambulance, and fire crew showed up to the Kohberger home. Details have not yet been given on how things went when entering and exiting the home. All that we've been told is multiple windows and doors were broken in the process.
Can you confirm or deny that a window was broken in order to gain access into the home?
There were multiple windows that were broken, I believe, to gain access, as well as multiple doors. I think the video of the house after the fact confirms that, and that would all be part of the tactical plan based on the floor plan of the house, etc., and what the CERT operators would do to serve those warrants.
Here is a video of news reporter Bryan Kohberger going to the Kohberger family house later that night.
It's very dark here. I'm a reporter.
Get off my property. It's private property.
Is there anything you can say about Bryan?
You need to get off my property very quickly.
Okay, thank you.
At about noontime on December 30, 2022, police released a mugshot of 28-year-old Bryan Christopher Kohberger. Police stated all Bryan asked was if anyone else was arrested. On Tuesday, January 3, 2023, Bryan appeared at the Monroe County, Pennsylvania courthouse for his hearing. Bryan waived his extradition hearing and the judge said he is to be transferred to Idaho within the next 10 days. Police have not stated when exactly he will be transferred or how he will be transferred. It is likely he will be flown in privately to avoid any safety risks.
That is 28-year-old Bryan Kohberger walking out of a Monroe County, Pennsylvania courtroom after he waived his right to an extradition hearing.
Once Bryan is back in Idaho, the probable cause affidavit should become public with more information on this case. I made this video to show a simple timeline on Bryan Kohberger's life. There's many details missing for now. Until more is released, please visit the tip line if you have any vital information on this case. I will be updating through shorts and posting videos when more information is given. Please consider subscribing so you don't miss a thing. It's free and you can always change your mind later. Thank you.